Hello, my name is Jacob Folger, and I'm an artist and a sculptor. And today we're going to make the head of a werewolf. And I'm just going to start forming this self-hardening clay that you can get at art supply or craft store. I basically want to get the shape of his head, and just at first by squeezing and moving it. I think his nose might be a little bit long, so I'm going to take some of that off. And the main thing that you do when you buy your self-hardening clay, there's all different kinds of brands, by the way. There's Marblex, Mexican clay. Those are the most popular, I think. But the brand is not so important as the clay and how pliable it is. So you should open the box and poke your finger in and see if it's soft. Make sure it's soft before you buy it. I try to always tell people that. Now I've got just the basic shape of the head kind of where I want it right now. Just going to smooth it out a little bit more. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my thumbs and I'm going to press in here to get the indentation for the eyes. And on the nose, I'm going to just squeeze here and push up and try to get the basic shape or outline for the nose. I'm going to take my finger, my index finger, and just push in a little bit further and get the eye socket started. You can, at the art store or craft store, you can also buy sculpting tools. These are made out of wood. I have two different ones that I use. You can push that in a little bit further to get the eyes started. Usually the sculpting tools usually come in a pack of about 9 or 10. Right now I'm creating the eyeballs just by rolling balls of clay. I want them to be about the same size. There we go. I'm going to kind of flatten his head a little bit on top. You can use you can take a paintbrush like this and you can use the back end to create the pupils of the eyes like that. And then you can take a small piece of clay and you can roll it into a ball and then into a noodle by rolling it between your fingers and your thumb like that. And this would be the eyelid. You can take another piece of clay. Let's see, I got a little piece of clay here. Roll another eyelid, just like I showed you, and we'll do it again on the other eye. And then you can blend that in at the top into the head. You can use your fingers, or you can use a tool like this. Sometimes it's easier, especially when you're first starting out. And you can also use a tool to lift the eyelids or move them to a place that you want them to be. I just think that one should be a little bit higher. I'm going to take a piece of clay and I'm going to roll it like a teardrop, like this shape here, and I'm just going to put it on the edge of the eye right here. I'm starting to work on the depth of the eyes, and I'll blend that in at the top. I'll roll another teardrop just like this, and I'll put it on the other side. And blend it in at the top. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit more depth. I'm going to add a brow. Basically, I'm rolling a noodle of clay and bringing it to a point at one end. And where the bigger part is, the bigger, thicker part, I'm going to put it right here. And running up at an angle like that. I'm going to do another one for the other side. Like that. Now if you look at the expression, he really looks kind of sleepy and lazy. Really, we want to wake him up. So I'm going to take this tool here and I'm just going to push up the eyebrows so that you see, this is his pupil here. That's the pupil. And if you push the eyelids up so that the white of the eye shows there, at the top, it'll just wake him up a little bit. Push it up. And then he starts to wake up a little bit there. Now I'm going to take another noodle of clay, and I want to build up the forehead a little bit. So I'm going to put that right there and run it back. And make another one for the other side. And then we'll put that right here. You can have those kind of come in a little bit. I'm just gonna kind of pull on the nose and make it bring it out a little bit. The snoot. And now I'm going to push up. This is his nose. I'm going to push up on it, making it kind of flat. And I'm going to take the back of a paintbrush and give him nostrils. Like that. There's a little slit that comes down off the side of a wolf's nose. It's kind of like this. I'm going to put that on both sides. Just want to try to make it even. I can use the back of my paintbrush again and just even it up a little bit. And now I'm going to give some definition for the lip in the front. By just pressing in with this tool. And now I'm going to take a piece of clay and a noodle of clay like this, and I'm going to pronounce all of this. I'll start on this side here, and I'll bring that up, and this will be his lip. Kind of want it to go up on the sides. If your clay is drying out, you can give it a squirt of water just to try to keep it moist. I'm going to roll another piece of clay here, just getting that lip in there. Blend it into the front of the nose. And just give a little bit more indentation so it's coming down and up, and then back down again. Like that. Now I'm going to take this tool and I'm going to just make a cut here. I'm going to make a cut deep in there, and I'm going to open his mouth. And you see it's already changing now. The look is changing a little bit. He wasn't looking all that mean before, but he'll start to look meaner and meaner. Now what I can do is take a piece of clay like this, roll a little bit of a noodle, but kind of roll it to a point, and put it up in the upper part of his mouth there for a tooth. Actually almost a fang, really. Same thing on the other side. Try to make them both the same size. close to it. Just put it up in there. Now we can start to make them even meaner looking by adding a somewhat of an elongated tongue. Roll a ball of clay, roll it into a noodle like this. Just smooth it out a little bit. You can put it in there, flatten it out a little bit. Bring it back a little bit in there, carve it in there a little bit. And then take a sharper end here and put an indentation for the middle of the tongue. Okay, and then we want to add some wrinkles going up his nose. Kind of like this. Okay, and if your clay, again, if your clay is drying out, give it a mist of water. You can get a mist of water like this, a water mister for about $1 at the dollar store. The wrinkles will add to the kind of overall effect of the kind of that angry look. Obviously, it will make it a little bit angry. More angry looking. Now add another set here. Since it's so close to Halloween, which is tomorrow, I just had this thing earlier. I made a video on how to make a monster head. That was a lot of fun. Okay, and then you can take a tool to blend that in, blend the wrinkles in. Kind of get a little bit of an indentation there. You can press down on the top of the head a little bit just to flatten it. That will also give more of an angry kind of mean. Adding cheekbones. Just balls of clay, and then added and blended into the sides of the mouth. And I'm take a tool here and give some definition for the termination of the nose in the back. And take another tool here, and along the top of the nose I'm gonna put in some indentations. And take another tool here, I'm going to put some lines under his eyes. at the corners of his eyes. I'm going to add some shadow by putting some deep creases along the wrinkles of the nose. When you put a deep line in, then light can't get into it as well, so it creates a shadow. And I can do that up here too, and here, and here. And that's how he's looking from the side. Roll a little bit of clay here. Roll it to a point so it's kind of like that. And put that right in back here, and that will be his ear. Blend it in to the head. Can flatten it out by pushing in, creating a ridge on the inside of the ear towards the center of the head, like that. And you can turn the ear up like that. To create more like a werewolf ear. We'll roll another ball. Slightly into a shape like this. This will be for the other ear. Just put it on there, blend it into the head. And then I'm going to take a tool and blend it into the wrinkles that we put in and the brows. And then you can press in like I just told you, creating that ridge at the inside of the ear, and you can just turn it in. And that's what we got right now. Now, when this clay dries, it'll probably take a couple days to dry. If you wrap it loosely in plastic, it'll dry slower, and that would be better. You don't want it to dry too fast. And then you can paint it, and I'll actually attach a playlist for some faux finishes that I do, bronze and stone and that sort of thing. Or you can hand paint it something the way you like, or you can leave it natural. You can take a paintbrush, get some water on it, dab off most of the water. And if you want to get rid of all the sculpting marks and that sort of thing, I personally think the sculpting marks look good. But if you want to get rid of them, you can just brush it. The one thing you're going to want to be careful of is the eyes, because the eyes would be very hard to get to repair at this point. So if you get a lot of water in there, in the pupils and all that, it will muck it up and turn it into a muddy mess, and that would be the one thing I would worry about at this point. But if you go around, you can take your time and go around and just paint the sculpture like this, and it will take out the sculpting marks. You can see just by that little bit that I've done right now that it already looks smoother in the areas that I've been working on. And there you go. And I personally like the sculpting marks. I often leave them in depending on what I'm doing. But you know, you're your own artist, and you have to decide for yourself. So that's basically how you make a werewolf head. And thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button down below. Please leave a comment. If you make a werewolf for yourself, please send a picture to me. My email address is on my channel page. And if you like this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel. I have over 300 videos of all kinds of how-to sculpting and all kinds of things really. It's a very interesting channel. And feel free to visit my website at jacobfolger.com. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.